now, CW Thoughts by Howard, WB2UZE.
Well, as you know, I've been taking a few minutes at the instructors meeting to talk about some things that are important to me culturally and historically about CW. And we put up one of them on YouTube last week and got a pretty nice response. That was the one with the chopped liver. But I thought that I would go over a few things today that some of you might have heard already, but there's a lot of new people and maybe have not heard about this. Now, you might say to yourself, why would Howard consider any of this important? These things that I'm going to tell you now are coming from my perspective of 60 years of ham radio. What I've heard over the years, what I kind of still expect to hear, but I'm really not hearing anymore. I know times are changing, things are different, but when I hear an operator, either on sideband or CW, not doing these things, it does make me wonder. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to get on some forum and start espousing these things and saying that you better do these things, or you're the wrong CW operator, or you're not a good CW operator. That's not where I'm going here. I just want to pass down to you guys what's important to me. Because like I said last week, I'm not going to be here forever. And if I don't tell you these things, it's going to leave with me. So I just want to give it to you younger people, and you see what you think about it. And if you do it, fine. If you don't, it's up to you. Pro signs. KN. What is KN? What was it? And what should it not be today? KN is an anachronism. It doesn't belong in CW anymore. Where does it come from? It meant, please don't break into my QSO. Now, where was that used? When we had novice privileges and we didn't have VFOs, we were stuck on crystals. And it was like a party line channel. And you had to be polite and give everybody a turn. Sometimes you would break into someone's QSO and you'd have a 3-way, 4-way, 5-way. I mean, we had sometimes 15 of us as teenagers in the same QSO at night on 15 meters when the band closed, and it was all local contacts. So if you really didn't want to have somebody break in and disturb you because maybe you were concentrating on that QSO, or you just were talking about something important to that person, you would sign KN at the end, and that was the indication to everybody else not to send a BK, which at that time meant break in to your QSO. If you heard somebody send BK, you would stand by and let that person join. KN meant please keep out. So sending KN today is an anachronism and it doesn't belong. Now, you could say, what's the big deal? There is no big deal. But when I hear KN, these are the type of memories that it brings back. AR. Where does AR belong? Now, you could put this on a forum on QRZ, you get 10,000 answers. Where does it belong to me? AR belongs before the call signs. Thanks for the QSO 73's AR. You send AR to tell the other person that's the end of your message. What if there's QRM or QRN, or you're fading in and out? If you weren't hearing what you said before, but you heard the AR, which is very recognizable, you would know the message is over. Even if you didn't hear the call signs anymore, you would know that it's your time to go. So let's say you had terrible conditions, you heard the AR, you know about in your mind how long it would take to send call signs with a D in between it, and then a K, and then you could jump in and start to transmit, and the guy would hopefully hear you, and the QSO would be continuing. Because sometimes if you wait too long, the guy would think that you disappeared or you dropped out, and the QSO could end fatally short. So that's where I think AR belongs. There's no need to put it after the call sign. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Now, you might think this is a fine point, doesn't mean anything. That's okay. I'm just passing it down. One thing though, two things actually that get the goat of people my age. QSL. And this is creeping into CW now. QSL to me, and to everybody my age, is a paper QSL card. It doesn't take the place of Roger. Anytime I hear the word QSL being used for Roger, I have to admit I'm cringing. I don't tell this to anybody. I could be sitting next to somebody on field day or a portable operations and they could say QSL. I won't say anything to them. So this is nothing that I'm arguing about. But QSL to us, of our generation, means you're talking about a paper card, not Roger or not I'm copying you. And especially if it's going into CW now where you're saying QSL instead of Roger. I don't know why anybody would do that. It's 3 letters as opposed to 1. Makes no sense. My opinion again. Now, on the same token, field day. Did you ever hear anybody say, please copy? W2XYZ, please copy 2A NLI. Why do you have to say, please copy? How many times can you say that in field day before you're going to lose your voice? Makes no sense. And it doesn't sound pretty to operators that have been around for a long time. Not necessary in a contest. They know what you're going to say in field day. W2XYZ, 2A NLI, they know you're going to get the exchange. They know you're going to get a serial number and you're going to get a state. They know that. You don't have to tell them to please copy it. The last thing I wanted to talk about, which is important, how to call a CQ. Let me tell you how I call a CQ. I get on the frequency. The first time I get on a frequency, 3 CQs, 3 call signs, K. I listen. No response, 2 CQs, 2 call signs, K. Listen. Again, 2 CQs, 2 call signs, K. What am I doing? I'm occupying the frequency and I'm listening. Did you ever hear some stations call CQ 15, 20 times, their call sign 20 times? When I hear that, I tune the dial, unless the guy's from Vietnam or something that I needed. But they wouldn't do that either. I spin the dial. I won't answer anybody that calls a CQ like that. Now, you might think this is extreme, what I'm telling you, or that I'm venting. In a way, I am. But I just want to pass down to you the culture in a way that's disappearing that used to be the protocol of ham radio in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Now, times change. But I just wanted to have you aware of this. I think that's a good operating technique. And if you adopt it, I'd be very pleased. If you don't care to, that's your prerogative. Mike, that's what I have for tonight. If anybody has any comments, please let me know.